and his dream to this country, and I try to help in any way I can.
You're a good team.
We are.
I hope. So far we are working good.
Good morning, Your Highness. Good to see you again.
In a country where traditionally women are not seen or heard in public, Sheikha Moza's role as Qatar's First Lady is groundbreaking.
Her Highness Sheikha
She has addressed the United Nations, is now a Unesco's special envoy for education, and has become a strong advocate for educational reform in her own country.
Without education, we can't achieve anything. Without citizens who can conduct civilized debates and can decide for themselves what to choose and whom to choose for their political life, we won't be able to achieve anything.
So you think education helps to build a country?
Definitely.
And the Qataris are literally building on that belief on 2,400 acres on the outskirts of Doha, a site where the Sheikha wants top universities from around the world to set up branch campuses. It's called Education City.
The actual construction started 1996.
So far, they've attracted 3 universities, 2 from the United States, and they're negotiating for more. And all of this is funded by?
His Highness.
Everything.
Everything.
The universities don't have to pay a dime. All they have to do is offer the same education here that they offer in America. So what is this building, these buildings under construction over here?
Okay, this is the Cornell Medical College.
When it opens later this year, the Cornell Medical School in Doha will train 50 doctors a year in one of the most modern and sophisticated medical schools in the world. How did you convince so many American universities to come here and start these programs literally in the desert?
So I think it was obvious from day one that we had commitments, and we are ready to fulfill our commitments.
So far, fulfilling that commitment has cost the Emir over $1 billion, and they're still spending. Last October's official opening of the Cornell Medical School was a royal event. The Emir and the Sheikha appeared together in public for the first time. And for the first time, television cameras were permitted to show her face, breaking a social taboo.
Good evening. Your Highness, if a social taboo had to be broken in order to deliver this message, so let it be. But my intention was not to break the taboo. My intention was to show the importance and how the education is on the top of our agenda.
Another item on the top of her agenda is women's rights, which have improved dramatically since her husband became the Emir. Women can drive a car.
Definitely.
Women have the right to vote.
Definitely.
They can run in elections. They can hold elective office.
Right.
They can dress as they wish. They can be completely covered or not have a veil.
Right.
They can work alongside men.
Right.
That's change.
But don't we all change?
You can see some of the changes in education at Qatar Academy, a private coeducational school in Doha, where students have access to modern ideas and technology, and teachers are implementing changes the Sheikha wants to spread throughout the entire public school system. We talked to a group of students about her impact on their lives.
Without her, most families have got no woman to look up to, you know, to use her as a role model.
No women to look up to.
Yeah, because in this country you don't see many women go on TV, help the education and improve women's life in general.
No first lady in the Arabian Gulf is like her. She encouraged me to study politics. No woman studied politics in Qatar until now. It wasn't appropriate, but now she's encouraging girls to be useful in society.
If you lived in Saudi Arabia, how would your life be different?
Well, if I was in Saudi Arabia, I wouldn't have the opportunity to participate in the society, to serve it. Because life in Saudi Arabia is so different than Qatar.
Life here is tranquil. Almost everywhere you can see a mixture of the old and the new. There's a growing affinity for American culture, and no outspoken opposition to the American presence or the Emir's changes. American investment is increasing dramatically, especially in natural gas.
If we go back to 1993, 94, the American, they invest in our country around $200 or $300 million. Now it's over $30 billion American investment here in Qatar.
So in less than 10 years, it's gone from about $300 million to over $30 billion.
Over $30 billion, and it's going to increase. So I think this should be a good relation for you and for us.
It's good for the U.S. because it provides bases that can be used in a war. It's good for Qatar because the American military presence provides protection for the emir and his reforms that have made Qatar a role model for change in the Arab world. Sheikh Hamad knows he has to change his country while he can, because he also knows that the last two emirs before him were overthrown. If I come back in 10 years, what will it look like here?
Well, first, I hope you find me facing you in the same chair. And I'm sure you will find a big change.
From an American perspective, the biggest change so far has been the Pentagon's decision to move the most important Air Force command center in the Middle East from Saudi Arabia to Qatar. From a Qatari perspective, the biggest changes include approval of a constitution, creation of a parliament, and electing the first woman in the country's history to public office. But the emir is not giving up political power. The new constitution stipulates that in future, the country's rulers will be his descendants.